Hello, my name is Bob Wiedefeld, and if you're watching this, which of course you are, I assume it's because you are enrolled in one of my sections of BMT 1620, Personal Finance and Investments. In the next 14 and a half minutes, I would like to cover a number of topics. The first of which is just a very quick general overview of the course and my expectations of you as students in the course. And then I'll move on to the two projects, which are extremely important as far as your grade is concerned, and what you learn in the course as well. First, the course. Now, you've been enrolled now for 4 weeks. Sunday night at midnight will be the beginning of our 5th week. The 7th week is mid-semester, so we're getting very close to the mid-semester point. So you should understand how the course works by now. But there are some things that I thought I would mention. The assignments. When you go to the assignments section for any particular module, then you will see a list of things that you are to answer or address and post in the cafe, the dollars and cents cafe, which we've been using to communicate with each other. There's a specific place for the particular week that we're in. For example, week 5 is coming up, so you will see week 5 in the cafe, and you'll see 2 sections of week 5. The first section that you can click on is titled Initial Post and Discussion. Now, there are basically 3 assignments in every module. There can be more, but there are at least 3. The first assignment is that you must address the issues that are brought up in the assignment for that particular module. So you're going to answer the question or address the issue that's brought up in the module, and you're going to place that response to that assignment issue in the bucket, if you will, that is labeled Initial Post and Discussion. That's where your first post goes, and that first post is going to be judged based on how well you address the issue that you are to address in the assignments. The second of the 3 expectations for every module is that you respond to at least one other student's posting in the initial post and discussion section. So all of the students in the class will be posting their responses to the assignments in the initial post and discussion section, and you will choose one of them and you will respond to that student's posting. I don't want you to just say, yeah, good job, or I agree with you. You must present some sort of logical and complete response, either adding to what the other student put in place or extending beyond it, or actually addressing. If you disagree, then you've got to say why. And this is your opportunity in all 3 of these to prove that you actually have read the material. So you need to draw on the material. You can't just come up with something off the top of your head. So the first 2 of the 3 expectations in any particular module will be placed in the initial post and discussion section in the cafe. Some people aren't doing that yet, and I'm not sure I understand why, because the instructions are very clear. Now, the third expectation is that you summarize what you've learned in that module. Here are the things that I learned as a result of reading this module. Don't just list them, write them. A couple of paragraphs at least. I'd like to see 500 words in each one of these. That's not that much, considering that it's a full week's worth of work. That third requirement is that you actually summarize what you've learned in that particular module. And that goes, you would click on the section in the cafe for that particular week that simply is titled Summary Posts. So you're going to post your summary in that particular, the second or summary posts slot or bucket And you're going to, again, do a thorough job. I'd like to see at least 500 words. This is what I learned. These are the things that I remember from all of my experiences in this particular module. And then you're complete as far as that module is concerned. Now, if for whatever the reason you didn't understand this and you put posts in the wrong places in the past 4 weeks, then let's let it go, and I will go back and I will try to figure out what it is that you're doing. But from here on, for the rest of the course, please make sure that you post in this manner, because if I miss a post, I'm going to assume that you didn't make one, even though it might be in an area where it's not supposed to be, and you're not going to get credit for it. Secondly, I'm starting to get the normal, I've been doing this in this format for over 10 years, and I'm starting to get the normal questions about grades. Everybody's interested in grades. I'm not a big grade person. I don't particularly judge what a person has learned by the types of grades that they're getting. But grades are a necessity, and I know that students are very interested and concerned about them. The posts that you put, the 3 posts for each module that you put into the cafe are pass-fail. The only way you're going to know if you failed a post is I will send you an email before the end of that particular week, as long as you didn't post at the very last minute. And I will say, this does not adequately respond to the assignment. And you need to get back in there, and here's what you need to do to make sure that you've got the response that you need. If you do not get a personal email from me with regard to any of the posts in the cafe, then you can assume that you have passed that particular posting. And when you assume that, as you're trying to calculate what you think your grade is to that point, you can assume that your grade is an A for that particular posting, okay? So if you're posting everything you're supposed to, you're putting it where you're supposed to put it, and you do not get any emails from me saying otherwise, then you can assume that you have an A to that point in the course for all of your posts. Now here's one exception. If you fail to post, if you do not put a required post in the cafe, you will not get an email from me. I'm not going to chase you down and say you didn't do what you were supposed to do. All right? So you will get an F by the end of the week if you failed to post, and for that particular posting, and I'm not going to contact you. You know, you're big boys and girls. You know whether you've done what you're supposed to do or whether you haven't. I'd like to see you stick strictly to the deadline for posting these things. If you feel very, very strongly that in the last 4 weeks you could have done a much better job, or you posted something that you want to rewrite or whatever, go ahead and do it for the last 4 weeks. And I'm not going to enforce the deadlines for this past 4 weeks, okay? It's very, very simple, and I don't understand why people either can't comprehend what it is they're supposed to do and when and where they're supposed to put it. But this is what you need to do in order to get a good grade in this course. Also, there are 2 assignments. There are 2 major projects in this course. I'm going to deal with them briefly right now. But what I'm going to tell you now in the next 6 minutes will be all you need to know to get an excellent grade on each of these 2 projects. The first that we'll talk about is the investment tracking project. Now, every semester, and these courses have been no exception, I get these frantic emails from people saying, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I don't know anything about stocks. The assignment does not require you to know anything about stocks, how to buy stocks, how to choose the stock you're going to buy, etc. What the assignment requires you to do is to research the internet and find one of the many sites on the internet that offers a free investment tracking, stock tracking platform. And they are all over the place. And the students that come back to me and say, I've checked everywhere and I can't find one, you're not doing it right, which is one of the reasons why I have you research it instead of telling you go to this site and fill in this blank, etc. You're not going to learn anything that way. So research, just Google stock tracking or investment tracking. MSN Google, Yahoo, all of these sites have some sort of a platform that will allow you to enter the name of your stock by the abbreviated name on the stock market. That's the one thing that you'll have to look up, and it will ask you how much you paid for it, and you can read the instructions on the site and choose whatever the stock is selling for at that particular time as your purchase price. I want you to go through the entire site, click on everything, and understand exactly how to use it. Although the only thing you will be doing is pretending to buy and sell stocks. That's it. Now, you're to do this every week for the remainder of the course. All right? And each week, you will make a copy. My preference is a hard copy of your portfolio as portrayed by the stock or the investment tracking site that you've chosen. I had a student recently send me an email saying, what format do you want? I haven't had a chance to get back to you yet. I apologize, but the format is the same format that you see online. That's the format that I want. And you make a copy at the beginning of every week. This is my portfolio. And then during the week, I want you to sell stocks and I want you to buy stocks. Okay, buy other stocks. And take a picture or print a copy of your portfolio each time you make a change. And then at the end of each week, make another copy of your portfolio. All right, so at the end of the semester, you're going to have a lot of copies of all of the activity that you've done on this particular site. You're going to turn this in at the very end. I will give you instructions close to the end of the course and for submitting it. And all you have to do is you're going to scan these copies into a PDF format. And then you'll be sending them to me when I tell you to. Don't send them, don't post them online every week. Don't send them to me. Don't do anything. Just accumulate them. I'm going to be looking for 12 or 13 weeks worth of these things once you turn the project in. Now, quickly, the other project is a plan. And all I'm going to say, I'm not going to give you a format. I want you to choose any format that you wish. I do not, under any circumstances, I will not accept a pre-printed format for you just to fill in the blanks. They're in workbooks and in some other textbooks, there are these pre-printed formats, and I will not accept that. You need to do it on your own. Okay? This is a course about financial planning, so you're going to develop your own financial plan. This is extremely important. I do not, and each chapter in your plan will correspond to a particular chapter in the textbook. So, for example, on the chapter that deals with short-term credit, then you're going to have a chapter in your plan that's going to deal with where you are now, where you want to be, what your goals are, by when, as far as short-term credit is concerned. Do not just summarize the chapter in the textbook and submit it to me as your plan. You're not going to get a grade. This has to be something that you are going to use for years to come as your own personal financial plan. Now, put real numbers in. You're going to use a combination of Word and Excel, and put the real numbers in that actually represent your own financial position. But just before you turn it into me, you're going to go through and you're going to make up numbers that are not real numbers for you, especially account numbers and things like that. You want to just put XXX in there, or certainly different numbers than your own financial situation because of privacy. Now, another thing, do not use a pre-printed format. I will not accept that. And going back to the investment tracking project, do not use an Excel spreadsheet. That's not the purpose of the project. The purpose of the project is to see that you have found a website that you're very comfortable with that will help you to track your investments later on in life. Okay? So don't submit something that you've made up. I need to see that you've actually been online. Okay. Ask the Professor is the place to ask me questions. I've tried to respond as quickly as I possibly can to all of your questions so far. This is a very easy course to get an A in, and a lot of people get A's, but almost as many get F's simply because they don't follow the instructions. I'm here to try to help you. I will do another video at some point in time in the next few weeks, but in the meantime, make sure you stay on track and don't fall behind. Take care.